In LA this week.
It launched, it left, and now it's definitely back again. Much needed facilities with laundry, showers, and so much more are back in Skid Row. I'm Gil Reyes with a story next.
I'm Anna Marcos. As if Pink's hot dog stand wasn't famous enough, it now has its own name on the street. More on that coming up.
These images and visuals represent more than just a newspaper. I'm Rasha Goel. Up next, how this exhibition reflects issues Hispanic Americans still face today.
Hey everyone, I'm Yana Kay. Here's what's happening in LA this week. Well, you may have noticed City Hall glowing in teal colors recently. Well, the effect wasn't just for beauty. It was there to start a conversation about health. Anna Marcos shows us how one woman's story of ovarian cancer helped light up City Hall.
City Hall went teal for several days to shine a light on one of the deadliest cancers for women, one they usually catch too late and often die from, one that returns to attack 70% of the time. And this can be the face of ovarian cancer. Robin Babini was only 16 when she first showed symptoms.
Finally, we decided to go to the gynecologist because she was not feeling well, and he just shrugged it off like it was nothing.
2.5 years later, Robin would be dead. For her mother, Paulinda, speaking out and raising funds for ovarian cancer has become a lifelong mission through her group, the Ovarian Cancer Circle, inspired by Robin Babini.
It turned my life upside down. And I'll do this for the rest of my life because I don't want to hear any more Robin stories. It's a tragedy. It shouldn't have happened.
Councilmember Paul Koretz teamed up with Babini and council members Nuri Martinez and Monica Rodriguez to bring the teal lights to City Hall after hearing Babini's group speak about survivor experiences last year.
I think people wearing teal ties, wearing teal scarves, I think helps generate the conversation because folks will notice that some people are wearing teal and ask why, and we can start talking about ovarian cancer.
So not only was this moving to us women, but we also felt like we were all educated. The men in this office made sure that their sisters, their wives, when they went to their next annual gynecological appointment, that they asked.
If I had known, as I say, what I know now, if I had known then, I would have said she needs a transvaginal ultrasound. She needs a CA-125.
Babini is talking about the only 2 ways to test for ovarian cancer, but tests were not ordered, and Robin's cancer was caught too late. Several surgeries and 6 rounds of chemo later, doctors thought they had beat it. They hadn't.
It had metastasized to her intestines. The tumor grew and it burst, exploded, and it's your child. I used to think, why didn't it happen to me? I was already, had my life, but she was a kid, and a popular kid. She had 4 boyfriends.
Her daughter's death inspired Babini to honor her life by educating other women. Among her tips, know the symptoms, which can include nausea, back and lower body pain, fullness, changes in appetite, bowel movements, and menstrual cycle. Demand the right test from your doctor. Make sure you see a gynecological oncologist and pay for the tests if insurance won't cover them. These steps, she says, could make the difference between life and death.
Well, you can find out more about the Ovarian Cancer Circle and how you can get involved at the ovariancancercircle.org. After 6 months of expansion and improvements, people who are homeless in downtown finally have a place to freshen up again. Gil Reyes reports on the new and improved Refresh Spot on Skid Row.
To the relief of people in downtown, the only homeless hygiene center of its kind in the nation has reopened, with new 24-hour showers, toilets, and laundry facilities. Skid Row's community refresh spot has returned.
I know in the middle of the night when it's hard to find somewhere to go to the restroom in downtown, it's really hard. I mean, when you have to go, or taking a shower, it's like, there's nothing. This place, I don't know what I would do without it.
After a 6-month delay, the center is definitely back better than ever. Back in December it opened, but then closed in March for what was supposed to be just a 1-month renovation. That dragged on. Part of the problem was ordering the new trailers that had to be shipped and plugged into local utilities. There was also a delay in receiving permissions from the state.
There were special customized trailers that were made to meet the needs of the community, and there were some challenges in getting them certified and getting them approved.
But Charles Porter from Skid Row's Social Model Recovery Systems says that's all in the past. Some 300 people a day now visit the center. There are 6 showers, 7 toilets, also 12 washer and dryers. Some of these facilities are wheelchair accessible.
The thing that I would stress is the importance of partnering with the local community to design it, to develop it, and to staff it, because it really is a win-win. When you have people in your neighborhood that know what the issues are, give them an opportunity to develop something.
Adeline Bertha wishes these free services were around when she was growing up, homeless, going to school, and feeling very out of place.
Having to have conversations with other people and you know that you didn't take a shower, you didn't have time to brush your teeth, and the Refresh Spot gives you a feeling of community. It gives you a feeling that there's other people who understand where you came from and that your situation doesn't define you.
Goodwill, Homeless Healthcare LA, the Skid Row Community Improvement Coalition, and the LA Homeless Services Authority all partnered on the Refresh Spot project. While looking for a job, you may want to consider opportunities in the homeless provider services industry. Raza Goel has more on job openings and the need for qualified candidates.
Tim Newton has experienced homelessness and knows what it's like to be on the streets and then to be working as a professional. Today, he is among the many seeking a job in the homeless services industry, so he can also help give back.
A lot of my experience in homeless services comes from being on the other side of the desk as a consumer trying to engage with homeless services, and I know how difficult that process can be and how stigmatizing the experience of homelessness and some of the co-occurring issues can be.
The Homeless Service Professionals Job Fair of Los Angeles was recently held at the Los Angeles Valley College in Valley Glen, where job seekers had a chance to talk to service providers that are hiring.
Homelessness is a huge issue in our community, and it's really important that we attract the right type of talent, both professionally and people that have the appropriate soft skills to work with people in crisis.
Officials here tell me there are many opportunities in the homeless services industry. In fact, there are 1,200 job openings that need to be filled.
We have anything from entry-level, part-time, cooks, janitors, outreach workers, case managers, all the way up to program managers, directors, and a number of executive-level positions available as well.
These job opportunities have been created through the voter-approved measures H and HHH. Job seekers are happy to have the opportunity to have one-on-one interactions with potential employers.
Everything's great. A couple of great leads. Everything looks fulfilling and they're helpful, resourceful.
And hopefully it's a way to open doors to make the right connections. These job fairs are held quarterly throughout the city. This was the third one in a series of 4.
More than 30 employers attended the job fair where several hundred jobs were available. The Office of Mayor Garcetti partnered with the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority on this event. Well, over in Hollywood, a neighborhood gem with 78 years in the business is about to get even more famous on the street. We're talking about Pink's Hot Dogs and the newly named Pink Square.
Nothing like songs from the 30s and 40s to give you that old-time feeling. Singing and dancing was on the menu for the day as Pink's Hot Dogs celebrated its 78th birthday.
Hot diggity dog, we're celebrating Pink's!
I don't care if it's Pink's birthday or half birthday or if it's a month celebration, any excuse I get to come to Pink's to have a hot dog.
Yes, there's all the dozens of varieties of loaded Pink's hot dogs, but there was an extra reason to celebrate all that pink. Councilmember Paul Koretz and other city leaders unveiled Pink Square at the corner of Melrose and La Brea Avenue in honor of the iconic Hollywood restaurant.
Pink's is such an institution in our community, and it's such a great American dream story.
My mom and dad, Betty and Paul Pink, started Pink's. You know, it was during Depression. They had to borrow $50 from my grandmother, which was very fortunate, to buy a pushcart.
Pink's has since grown from a $50 pushcart to a Hollywood icon.
Pink's has been featured in movies, TV shows, Food Network, the Travel Channel, and countless travel blogs, books, and top 10 lists.
Even Martha Stewart, the queen of high-quality living, goes for a hot dog now and then.
She pulled right in, waited in line 30 minutes, came to the front. Martha Stewart waited in line, and then she created her own hot dog. So we asked her if we could put that on the menu, and she said yes. The Martha Stewart hot dog is an all-beef stretch hot dog that snaps when you bite into it, and it's got chopped onions, chopped relish, chopped tomatoes, sauerkraut, sour cream, and bacon on it.
Which makes us wonder, why would people wait in line for a hot dog for half an hour or more?
It's just a hot dog.
You can get a hot dog anywhere.
No, this is the best hot dog.
Yes, we've been coming here since we started dating. Yeah, so what, 16 years?
Wow. So why do people wait in line for a hot dog?
They have really good customer service, and their hot dogs are great. And their fries are really good too. So we bring the kids.
I like their chili hot dogs and their plain ones.
So when your mom says, where do you want to go, you say?
Pink's.
In the Food Network.
It's on Food Network?
Yeah, so that's how we've seen it.
I have been coming here since the 1960s and the 1970s, and it's the best hot dog in town. I love it.
Well, if there's a line, it's got to be good.
No hot dogs, you say? You're a vegetarian? Well, that is no excuse. Pink's has regular dogs, turkey dogs, and veggie dogs.
When you go to Pink, there's a lot of wows, and when there's wows, people hear about it.
A lot of wows and about 40 varieties of celebrity-themed hot dogs to choose from. Or maybe you will want to create your own wow and come up with a new combo of hot dog toppings all your own. Happy 78th birthday, Pink's.
Now get this, to celebrate, Pink sold hot dogs for 78 cents for a total of 78 minutes, with proceeds going to charity. Well, from chili dogs to barbecue, a group of downtown property owners honor the men and women who keep their neighborhood safe, while also saying goodbye to a longtime leader.
Thank you.
Lunch is on the house for some downtown heroes.
We don't run around looking for handouts or pats on the back, but when it does happen, when somebody does pat us on the back and say, good job, we appreciate you, it does go a long way.
This is the 19th annual Downtown Business Improvement District Luncheon, honoring those first responders that help make downtown Los Angeles safe. It is free to all law enforcement personnel, also emergency response.
We want to bring attention to the extraordinary work that they do.
By the time the story airs, Carol Schatz has retired as the longtime president of the Downtown Center Business Improvement District. That's a coalition of downtown property owners investing in the area's unprecedented growth and safety improvements.
And it would not have been possible without the support from LAPD, from the fire department, from the county sheriffs.
Her final public safety barbecue dedicates proceeds to the LA Police Memorial Foundation for Fallen Officers.
We pay for the funerals, we send the kids to college, and fortunately we haven't lost an officer for several years, but we still grant about $500,000 a year.
We want to show respect, and we want to honor their service.
And honor your service too, Carol Schatz, retiring after nearly 30 years as president. Here's to the future, yours and downtown's.
Congrats to Carol for all of her hard work. And as Gil mentioned, the barbecue raised funds for the LA Police Memorial Foundation. More info is available at lapmf.org. A new photography exhibit explores the defining moments and key players in the Chicano rights movement of the 60s and 70s. Raza Goel takes us to the Autry Museum for La Raza, where art and activism come together.
The La Raza publication ran for only 10 years, but had a profound impact. The bilingual newspaper was published from 1967 to 1977 and gave a voice to the Chicano rights movement. And today, those compelling images are on display as part of the La Raza exhibit at the Autry Museum. Now retired, Jose Razo was a former co-editor of La Raza from 1968 to 1972. He gave me insight into the exhibition that features more than 200 images shot by photographers that captured the activism of the Chicano movement, which helped inform residents of political issues and how they could advocate for change. Seen here as a younger man, he says the paper was more than just a publication.
Because we had no representation in either the media, which means radio, television, or the movies. That's why we started a newspaper, to give a voice to the community and also to educate our people regarding social, political issues that existed in our community. The exhibition is educating the public about some of the various issues that keep arising. There are 2 or 3 issues that are never going to be going away in our lifetime, and that's poverty and discrimination and racism.
Stanford graduates Eli Risco and Ruth Robinson founded La Raza in 1967 as a platform for community organizers. It was sold by subscription, but free for those who couldn't afford it, and often found in local libraries. Razo says while we see the photographers' work, it was a collaborative effort to get the word out.
The photos over here show a number of photographers, but we had scores of other people that were involved, that were actually doing the organizing.
One of the key issues of this movement was education. Back then, young Latinos weren't given many options. For example, women were encouraged to become homemakers instead of pursuing further studies.
You can be a home economics major, learn how to cook, learn how to serve plates and so forth. And if you want to work, you can be a secretarial class. So very few of us were geared to go to college, which is academic curriculum.
But that was just one of the issues the Latino community faced, along with lack of employment, police brutality, and others. The exhibition's short-term goal, Razo says, is exposure, but long-term is to really educate the people, which can serve as a resource for educators and students. And his personal message to all of us, especially the youth:
60,000 Hispanics turn 18 every month. Every month. Now they have a responsibility to vote. If they vote, we can change the whole system in the United States.
La Raza will be on display until February of 2019 at the Autry Museum. For dates and times, visit theautry.org. Traditions of the Far East come alive in the West as Hollywood welcomes a new neighbor that highlights the beauty of Japanese culture.
Good choice.
Think of this Japanese robot that greets you near the door as a sort of international ambassador. Japan House has been open for 8 months now, bringing a Far Eastern touch to the Tinseltown atmosphere at Hollywood and Highland.
I've always thought that Japanese culture is kind of more inherently creative than some, like seem to go about things in a different way and come up with really beautiful classic ways of describing things and putting things together.
Visitors can get a dose of culture immersion at the library and the salon for screenings and workshops. There's also a restaurant, a shop, and a hands-on interactive gallery. This is a place that invites Angelenos to try all things Japanese.
We want people to experience Japan with the 5 senses, to see, to hear, to smell, to touch, and eat.
Japan House was created by the Japanese government, but it's received support from Council Member Mitch O'Farrell's office. So why LA?
Los Angeles, the city of diversity, it has the capacity to accommodate and enjoy different cultures.
According to Japan House and its president, the Japanese were among the first to start 3D printing. And look at these 3D printed objects. This is an interactive exhibit. And when you touch the sensors, you actually get them to move. Pretty fun, right?
I think that anything that will help bring people into learning more about history is fantastic. And people love technology, they love robots, so if they can take that and then help them to learn about a culture, that's brilliant.
And while we're talking about robotics, the Japanese have an edge there too.
Robotics is worldwide, right? But then the Japanese robotics has a long history dating back to 400 years ago. It's a mechanized doll.
Who would have thought this mechanized doll would become the prototype for the modern-day robot? By the way, admission to Japan House is free.
LA is home to one of 3 Japan House centers in the world, joining London and Sao Paulo. Well, Dodgers fever is running rampant this week, and we caught up with the LA Dodgers Foundation as they hit their goal of building 50 Dodger Dreamfields for LA's young sluggers.
The LA Dodgers Foundation and their fundraising teammates opened their newest youth ballpark for underserved kids.
It feels like an especially exciting game day for us as we celebrate the 50th Dodger Dreamfield. Wow, congratulations.
Dodger skipper Dave Roberts cheering on the completion of the newest Dodgers Dreamfield at Algene Sutton Rec Center in South Los Angeles. As promised, 50 youth stadiums have been built over the past 15 years. In fact, the very first Dreamfield was also built at Sutton Rec Center. The charities of Dodger heroes Clayton Kershaw and Yasiel Puig pitched in to pay for the new one, a token of appreciation for hometown fans.
And we love to do this to the kids because the kids going to be the future for this community.
Dodgers legends Steve Garvey, Ron Cey, Manny Mota, and Steve Yeager also here, mentioning the importance of more ballparks in inner-city neighborhoods.
Giving the kids something to do, keeping them out of trouble, give them something that they can work together and accomplish something. So it's a beautiful thing.
Councilman Marquise Harris Dawson represents the area.
Oftentimes, when you see our community on TV, it's not necessarily in a positive light. And so the fact that the people we watch every day on television, our local heroes, thought enough of us to not just show up today. They were here when we did the groundbreaking. They wrote a check. They brought their families. And they tossed balls around with us. That means a lot to us.
I think that they show very good support about the field. They show very courageous thoughts with us. Let's get the World Series this year.
The LA Dodgers Foundation has a new goal to build 25 more Dreamfields by 2033. That would make 75 Dreamfields to celebrate the 75th anniversary of the Dodgers' move to Los Angeles. The mayor kicks off a new effort to help young people find good-paying manufacturing jobs. A new project will make bus stops safer and more accessible in Hollywood, and plans get underway for a new equestrian trail and more recreational space at Lopez Canyon. All these stories in Citybeat. Mayor Eric Garcetti kicked off a new drive to equip young Angelenos with the tools they need to secure good middle-class manufacturing jobs as part of a partnership between the City of LA, manufacturing, and youth organizations. The mayor said young Angelenos from all backgrounds deserve to find their passion, discover their talents, and get good-paying jobs that put them on a path to the middle class. And that this partnership will give them the tools and training they need to put that opportunity within reach. Los Angeles City Council member Mitch O'Farrell and the Bureau of Street Services broke ground on a $2.5 million project that will improve safety and access to transit stops along bustling commercial corridors in Hollywood. The project will improve accessibility at 14 area bus stops and install 43 new ADA-compliant curb ramps along Sunset Boulevard, Highland Avenue, and Vine Street. The project also includes new bus stop lighting, continental high-visibility crosswalks, and new trees. The project is expected to wrap up next summer.
The reality on the ground is that we're making the 13th District safer and more accessible for pedestrians, as evidenced by this new improvement.
Equestrians and hikers will soon have a new staging area and trail at Lopez Canyon. The City of LA broke ground on plans to develop a portion of buffer land surrounding the Lopez Canyon Environmental Learning Center for public recreational use. Planned to be developed on land owned by the City of LA, the Lopez Canyon Equestrian Trail and Trailhead project provides a recreational area consisting of a staging area and a 1.5-mile two-way trail. The staging area will consist of approximately 4 acres of land offering a picnic area, parking for vehicles and horse trailers, a water station for horses, as well as a bioswale, simple landscaping features to slow, collect, and infiltrate runoff from the site.
As the city of Los Angeles moves away from landfills and towards cleaner and greener solutions, projects like this will help improve the environment and the air we breathe.
Does Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, or Space Invaders bring back fond childhood memories? Well, they do for me. Union Station transported visitors back in time for the ultimate arcade rewind.
For 2 days only, downtown's Union Station brought back some of your favorite arcade hits from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And you didn't need quarters to play. The games were free. David Barrayo brought his daughter.
Her generation's more the one I was telling you, the phone. So I'm trying to introduce her to the old school now.
No smartphone games at Metro's Retrocade experience. Instead, it had 40 of the top button-mashing, joystick jamming hits from the golden age of gaming, with games like Mortal Kombat, Donkey Kong, and Pac-Man.
So she's getting a taste of what we grew up with.
It's great because you've seen a lot of people here today, especially the parents, people that are my age with younger kids, and they love to be able to share that joy because, I don't know how many arcades are still prevalent out there.
The folks at Metro hope events like Retrocade will score bonus points with visitors and help turn Union Station more into a destination rather than just a place to pass through in between trains.
This is a place where parents can come and hang out with their kids and share something from their childhood.
Game over, but look out for more special events at Union Station coming soon.
Union Station hosts many other special events like Retrocade, including film screenings, concerts, and art exhibits. Well, celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Autry Museum with Willie Nelson. Come out for the Fall Festival at the original Farmers Market and head out to the LA Public Library for a very special celebration. All this in this week's Things to Do. To commemorate its founding in 1988 as a museum dedicated to telling the diverse stories of the American West, the Autry will hold its 30th anniversary celebration. The event honoring late museum founder Gene Autry will feature a private concert by Grammy Award-winning recording artist Willie Nelson. In addition to this special performance, festivities will include a cocktail reception, an elegant dinner, and dancing under the stars. Gene Autry will receive a very special tribute as founder of the museum. With its opening, Autry realized his dream to build a museum which would exhibit and interpret the heritage of the West and show how it influenced America and the world. The celebration takes place Saturday, October 13th at 6 p.m. at the Autry Museum, located at 4700 Western Heritage Way. For more, visit theautry.org/celebrate. The original Farmers Market's oldest and most beloved celebration, Fall Festival, which was established in 1934, returns, signaling the start of the fall harvest. Fall Festival is a family-friendly weekend jam-packed with crafts, games, live music, a petting zoo, and more. Fall Festival has its roots in the earliest days of LA's favorite gathering place and the agricultural history of the city itself. The festival originally launched just a few months after the market first opened. Open to the public, the weekend is full of exciting activities for guests of all ages. And to really get the kids into the spirit of the season, Mr. Jack-O-Lantern's Game Zone will feature pumpkin bowling, candy corn hole, pumpkin decorating, pumpkin putting, an RIP ring toss, and pumpkin knock. All the fun happens October 13th through the 14th, starting at 11 a.m. at the original Farmers Market in LA. Join the fun to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Central Library's grand reopening in 1993. Grab some swag, including a free commemorative enamel pin. Work on an art project or tour Central Library's special collections. View rare and unique items that the library has acquired since its founding. The fun takes place on October 13th from 11 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. at the Central Library. And that's a look at some things to do. Well, that's going to do it for this edition. I'm Yana Kane. From all of us here at LA This Week, thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org and check out our newest social media videos, LA This Minute. We'll see you back here next week for more of LA This Week.